when lights go out. You're in my mind. I close my eyes, so it's just you and I.
I've got some new gear to try out today, and whenever I do that, I always come to a location that I know really well. This is Grasmere Lake, right in the centre of the Lake District National Park. And this has to be one of my favourite places to shoot. I've shot here many, many times before. But weirdly, I've never filmed a video from here.
And I tell myself you'll be back again. When the stars are aligned, we will dance in the meadow on our favorite place.
It is absolutely beautiful here this morning. We've got some wonderful colour in the sky towards the east where the sun is rising. But I'm actually shooting in the opposite direction, and what that's doing is that's creating a lovely, soft, even light across the hills that I'm actually photographing. So the first bit of new kit that I've got to try out today is a Canon 17 to 40mm wide-angle lens. Yes, I know I've said in the past that I'm not really into wide-angle, and actually I've even said in the past that if I was going to get a wide-angle lens, it wouldn't be that one. But the latest news on my standard lens, my 24 to 70mm lens, which you may remember I've broken, is that it came back and when I checked it out, it hadn't actually been fixed. So it's had to go back again. Now, I'm getting this managed by the place where I bought the camera from, and my lenses from, which is Wilkinson's Cameras in Kendal, and they've sent it away. This is nothing to do with them, this isn't their fault. But they have very, very kindly offered to lend me a 17 to 40 while my lens is being repaired. And so I just want to say a big thank you to all the guys at Wilkinson's in Kendal, particularly Nick. So one of the big disadvantages of shooting with the 17 to 40 over my 24 to 70 is I really want to be a lot closer to what I'm shooting in this particular shot. So I'm shooting right at 40mm. And it's just not close enough. I would much rather be able to go to 50mm, and that's why I really like using that 24 to 70. I think it's possibly the most versatile lens that you can have in your bag. In all seriousness, I probably will buy this lens. I think it will complete my lineup quite nicely, and I also think it's time for me to stop sticking my head in the sand when it comes to wide angle and embrace it and actually try and learn something. But it's probably not going to be a lens that I use very often. It's probably going to be a Santa Claus lens, a lens that only comes out once a year. And now I didn't come up with that. That is credit of James Burns. And speaking of James,
where are you now? I hope you're fine, but I won't lie, I still miss you so much.
how are you, mate? You alright?
Fine, yeah, not bad.
Good.
A grueling month, January, just glad it's all over.
January? Where are we
Yeah.
now? It's end of Feb, mate.
Middle February, yeah. Takes me time to get myself back in, but good. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm alright. I mean, I've been struggling a little bit, if I'm honest. The weather's been awful. The wind, I can't handle wind.
I've got a bad wind problem. Up to the point that I nearly booked myself into the doctors. I'm coping now.
Yeah.
Where is the snow, Chris? Where's it gone? Where's winter?
Well, this is what is the temperature at the minute? It's about
It's about 20 degrees Celsius, huh?
something like that.
Yeah.
It's glorious here this morning.
It is
though.
beautiful.
And you've never shot here before?
Never been it, never shot it. First time, and this is what I've got. Nice, misty, tranquil morning. What else can
It's
a
beautiful.
photographer want?
And you've got a long day ahead of you.
Long day, long day. So I'm meeting Mally Davis later on, and from there I'm going to meet him around Ullswater, and we're going to climb up to the top of Grasmere Fell for sunset.
And I'm not going with them because I'm going to watch England versus Wales in the rugby this afternoon.
And I'd like to, but I'm not.
So rather than fighting against the whole wide-angledness of it, I'm going to just embrace it now and try a much wider angle shot. I'm still going to stick to my principles, and I'm not going to try and use any foreground interest. I'm just trying to get as much of this fabulous view in as I possibly can.
Space for a dance in the meadow on our favorite place when spring is coming.
It's just one of those mornings. There is so much to photograph this morning. I mean, the reflections are just amazing, and in some ways it's a little bit overwhelming because you don't really know what to do. But we've got my mate here. We're just gonna have a chat and just enjoy the morning, because mornings like this recently have been very, very few and far between. Look at the light that we've now got on this fence here, absolutely gorgeous. But both James and I have agreed that that shot is a bit obvious. And so I want to go for something a little bit different. Now, one of the shots that I do want to get is of Acorn Bank, which is the former home of the poet William Wordsworth, who is synonymous with the area of Grassmere. He lived in a couple of houses here and also one down the road in Rydal. But that's definitely a telephoto shot, so I'm going to need to change lenses. But before I do that, I'm just going to try and take a few more, because these reflections, they're just too good to miss. Conditions are so good today. It's like we're shooting fish in a bucket. I've literally come 50 yards and found another completely different composition, which I'm just taking now. And I think, you know, it's so simple. And for me, often the best photographs are.
You're like a flower, you've always loved them. When winter comes, you go. Why is it so?
You may have noticed that the other piece of equipment that I'm trying out today is a new tripod. I've mentioned this before on my channel, but the little travel tripods that I have been using up to this point, you know, they're really not up to the job. And so I've invested quite heavily in a pretty serious tripod. I've gone for a Benro TMA48CXL. This is a big 4-section carbon fibre tripod. And I went for it for one reason, and one reason only, really. And that is that it will extend above my head height with the centre column up. And I think that that's going to give me a huge amount of versatility. It's also incredibly stable, far, far, far more stable than the tripods that I have been using. And I feel that if I'm going to be out in the conditions that sometimes I have to shoot in, you know, when the wind is blowing, that I really want that confidence that my tripod isn't going to let me down. And so I definitely think that this is the tripod for me. Even though I have got that wider field of view, 17 as opposed to 24mm, I still find that I'm reverting to my old favourite focal lengths. So at the minute I'm shooting at 28mm, and I guess that just goes to prove that old habits die hard. I finally made it round to the beach at the foot of Loughrig Fell, and the sun is now very high in the sky. The light is pretty harsh and there's a kind of real lack of contrast in the scene behind me, but I still want to take a shot because I want to try and get that tripod extended to its fullest height. So there you have it, the Benro Mach 3 TMA48CXL, a tripod that's even tall enough for me.